Are you tired of getting less for your money? Do you ever get that feeling like your favorite snacks are ghosting you halfway through the bag? Yup, shrinkflation is hitting your wallet hard. It's that sneaky feeling that everything's getting smaller, well, except the price tag. In this video, we'll break down what's really going on with these shrinking products, expose some of the worst offenders, and most importantly, show you how to be a smarter shopper and fight back. No, you're not going crazy. That bag of chips does seem to disappear faster. That bottle of milk is going to empty sooner. It's a real thing, folks, happening right under our noses on the supermarket shelves. This sneaky tactic has a name: shrinkflation. Basically, companies make the product smaller, like fewer chips, tinier candy bars, less juice, or fewer paper towels, but they keep the prices the same. Or, plot twist, sometimes they still raise it. Economists used to just call it downsizing, which sounds way less dramatic, to be honest. The Associated Press nailed it when they called it the inflation you're not supposed to see. Why do they do it? Because let's face it, we'll tend to notice a big price jump more than we'll notice a subtle change in size. Companies know this. They bank on us being too busy, too distracted, or just not equipped with a pocket scale at the grocery store to notice that the net weight has mysteriously dropped. It's designed to be discreet, which is why it feels kinda, well, deceptive when you finally realize you're paying the same for less. Today, we're pulling back the curtain. We'll wander the aisles, point fingers, metaphorically mostly, look at how long this trickery has been going on, see if it's really worse now, check if it's even legal, and give you the tools to protect your hard-earned cash. Let's get started. Alright, let's go on a shrinkflation safari. Where does this critter hide? Pretty much everywhere. Especially with the stuff we buy all the time. First stop, the paper goods aisle. Oh, the betrayal! Toilet paper and paper towels are prime targets. Get this, a study done by LendingTree found 60% of paper products had shrunk. The biggest loser? Angel Soft Mega Rolls. They lost a whopping 24.75% of their sheets per roll between 2019 and 2024. Went from 425 sheets down to 320. Ouch. Cottonelle? Down 8.2% sheets per roll. Charmin Ultra Soft Mega lost 20 sheets. Bounty Selecta Size Triple Rolls dropped 18.2% of their sheets. It's like they want us to have those awkward out of TP moments more often. The government's own data confirms paper goods are constantly changing size, lately mostly downwards. Next up, let's hit the snack, cereal, and drink aisle danger zones for your wallet. Your favorite Dorito bags got lighter, Wheat Thins family-sized boxes shrank, party-sized Cheetos not only got smaller, but saw their price per ounce skyrocket. Even Oreos aren't safe, and snacks are officially the most frequently downsized food category. Moving on to breakfast, those family-sized cereal boxes like Frosted Flakes and Cocoa Puffs are feeding fewer families. And let's not forget drinks. Gatorade famously went from 32 ounces down to a sleeker but smaller 28-ounce bottle for the same price. Juices like Tropicana slimmed down their containers too. It could be a long game for some products. Who remembers when coffee cans were actually a full pound? Now, not so much. It's everywhere. Ice cream cartons ditched a classic half-gallon 64 ounces for 48 ounces years ago. Dish soap, like Dawn Ultra, shrank from 7 ounces to 6.5 ounces in the same size bottle. Super sneaky. Even dog food. Pedigree bags went from 50 pounds down to 44 pounds. They get clever with packaging too. Taller, thinner boxes, bigger dents in the bottom of jars, more air in bags, flashy redesigns to distract you from the smaller quantity inside. Now, you might be thinking, this feels worse than ever, and you're not alone. A huge majority of people, like 71% according to that LendingTree study, have noticed shrinkflation and think it's getting more common. Similarly, a Purdue University survey done in October of 2024 found 77% of consumers noticed it in just that past month. But here's the twist. Shrinkflation itself isn't actually new. Like, really not new. The term shrinkflation got popular thanks to economist Pippa Milgram around 2009-ish. But the practice? Centuries old. Historians say bakers back in the 1700s might have shrunk loaves instead of raising prices to avoid riots. While we already listed plenty of recent examples, consumer advocates like Edgar Dworsky have been tracking this stuff since the 90s. It's a classic business move when costs for ingredients, labor, or shipping go up. So, is it actually worse now? Here's where it gets interesting. Some economic analyses, using government data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, or BLS, say the frequency of downsizing wasn't dramatically higher in the last couple of years compared to before the pandemic, and was even lower than peaks in 2015 and 2016. The BLS itself says, while shrinkflation is noticeable, its overall impact on the total inflation rate is pretty small. For all food at home, they estimated it only added about 0.3 percentage points to inflation in 2022. Even for snacks, where we see it a lot, it supposedly accounted for less than 10% of the total price increases recently. So why does it feel much worse? Maybe we just got hyper-aware of package sizes after the pandemic and recent inflation. Maybe all the media attention makes us notice it more. Or maybe, even if it's not happening more often overall, it is happening more in specific visible categories like snacks and paper goods. Plus, with less upsizing happening, we only seem to notice the downside, getting less, which just feels like a constant loss. History repeating itself? Maybe, but it definitely feels more annoying right now. Okay, the big question. If this feels so sneaky, how is it even legal? Well, generally speaking, in the US and many other places, shrinkflation is legal. But with one major catch. Companies must accurately update the net weight, volume, or count on the label. Laws like the Fair Packaging and Label Act say the package has to tell you exactly how much is inside right now. So if that chip bag says 9.25 ounces, legally they're covered, even if last month it said 9.75 ounces for the same price. The problem, and the reason it feels shady, is because of the gap in what they have to disclose. Companies don't have to shout from the rooftops, "Hey, we made this smaller." They just change a tiny print. No big announcement needed. And that's what makes people feel tricked. It might be technically legal according to the labeling laws, but it doesn't feel transparent. Trying to argue it's deceptive under broader consumer protection laws is tough if the current label is accurate. But wait, lawmakers are starting to pay attention because, well, people are mad. There are some moves happening. On the federal level, Senator Casey introduced the Shrinkflation Protection Act. This bill tries to officially call shrinkflation an unfair or deceptive act, giving the FTC more power. There are also other bills with Shrinkflation Reduction Act in the title, but beware. One, HR 7570, is misleadingly named and isn't about regulating shrinkflation at all. But another one, HR 9279, does target it by proposing rules to clearly state on the packages when the size has been reduced. We'll see if any of these actually go anywhere. On the state level, some states are trying to do things as well, like Connecticut considering mandatory disclosure notices on shrunken essential groceries. So, the battle is on. Should companies be allowed to shrink stuff quietly, or should they have to tell us up front? While the politicians duke it out, the real power is right here, right now, with you. You can fight back against shrinkflation and make smarter choices. Time to become a shrinkflation detective. Your number one tool, your secret weapon, your superhero cape in the fight against shrinkflation is unit pricing. Seriously, get friendly with the unit price on the shelf tag. It cuts through all the fancy packaging and tells you the cost per ounce, per pound, per sheet, whatever. This lets you compare different sizes or different brands accurately. Now, not all stores show it, though many states do require it. But if they do, use it. If they don't, whip out your phone calculator, put in the total price, and then divide that by the quantity of the measurement listed on the package. And that is your unit price. Compare those unit prices. The lowest one is usually the best value. Next up, actually read the label. Look past the flashy family size marketing. Find the net weight or count on the package. Try to remember the size of things you buy often. Compare the new package to the old one at home if you can. Don't just glance at the total price. Also, be a little suspicious when the package says new and improved. Sometimes, a big redesign is a smoke screen for a size reduction. Always double check that net weight. Okay, you spotted shrinkflation. Now what? Switch it up. Is your favorite brand shrinking? Show them you noticed by buying a competitor or trying a store or generic brand. Vote with your wallet. It worked for Tropicana. Consider bulk. Bigger packages often have lower unit prices, but make sure you use it all before it expires and that you have the space and can afford the upfront cost. Best for non-perishables. Hunt for deals. Use sales, coupons, store loyalty programs, and cashback apps Like Ibarra and Rakuten, shopping online can make comparing prices easier too. Go basic. Processed foods get hit the hardest. Buying whole ingredients like fresh produce, grains, and basic meats, and cooking from scratch gives you way more control over quantity. Make some noise! Complain to the manufacturer. You might even get a coupon, and it tells them people are noticing. Tell your friends, share online. Raising awareness helps everyone. So, there you have it. Shrinkflation, the hidden price hike. Paying the same, getting less. It's happening across the store, from your TP to your treats. We learned that it's not new, but it definitely feels particularly frustrating right now. And while it's usually legal as long as the label's accurate, the lack of transparency is what really grinds our gears. Is it a minor annoyance, or a major ripoff needing regulation? I'd love to hear your thoughts. But you don't have to just take it. The power is in being an informed consumer. Check those unit prices like a hawk. Pay attention to net weights. Don't be fooled by fancy packaging. Be ready to switch brands. Let's demand more transparency, whether it's through our shopping choices or supporting clearer labeling laws. That tiny reduction might seem small, but it adds up. Be vigilant, be smart, and make sure you're getting the value you deserve. What are the worst shrinkflation examples you've seen lately? Share them down in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more money saving tips, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next video. Stay savvy, shoppers.